back to Shire Talks. I'm Karen.
And I'm Alan.
Today we're going to talk about something extremely important. So you've worked very hard to get your estate planning documents in order, we hope. If you haven't, call us and we will help you with them. And now we need to establish a roadmap. So people can follow your estate planning documents, where they are, and that ultimately what you put in place, your desires, your wishes, are going to be followed because they're known. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to have an informal letter or a document that basically explains what all your documents are. And the list of documents that you want to include in your roadmap is starting off with a list of important contacts. So in important contacts, it would be your attorney. Your attorney's always first. Would be your attorney, your accountant, any financial advisors, an insurance agent.
Insurance people is good. And then you also want to put in that letter where your documents are located. So where exactly are you keeping the original of your will or your trust or your powers of attorney? You want to keep them in a safe place, of course, but at the same time you want to make sure that people can actually find them. So if you use a safe deposit box, that's okay, but you have to make sure that somebody else in your family has access to it so they can find it. So please consider that when you're drafting this roadmap.
The other thing that you want to include in your roadmap is financial statements. So you want your beneficiaries to understand what you have in your financial toolbox. You want them to know your stocks, your bonds, bank account statements, any statements that deal with your mortgage, deeds, automobile titles, those sorts of things. So think about all your assets and then make sure that you have them all written down.
And this way people know, whoever's finding this information knows who to call and where to get started. So
exactly.
Another thing that you need to do is inventory your digital assets. So keeping a list of passwords, online accounts. Many times people don't get mail anymore because they opt out of paper and things are only coming via email. So you want to make sure all of those things are accessible by your family as well. And you want to do that in a safe way. So you don't want to put a list of passwords on the computer and then you don't provide a password for the computer and nobody can get into it to see what all the other passwords are. So you want to have a system in place. There are many apps or things that you can use for this as well, but you want to have one that's going to work and that people are going to have access to, the people that you trust to take care of it.
Right. In this digital world where so much is on your computer, how you bank, how you everything that you do, and I think a lot of times people don't think about that.
I mean, it's possible you won't get a paper letter, from a bank all year because everything is coming electronically because you've opted to do it that way.
The other thing to think about are making sure you have a roadmap for any family heirlooms. So just letting people know where they might be located if it's something that's not obvious. And obviously you'll have in place, who's going to get what, but sometimes it's not obvious where those things are. So you want to also make sure that that's documented, as well as any burial or funeral arrangements. You'll want that also documented.
Yeah, especially with the funeral arrangements, we've got to be specific. Maybe you don't want to be buried, you want to be cremated. Or maybe you want to have a particular song played at your service or your funeral. So that's really important to put that down and put it where somebody can find it. We recommend putting together a binder, and we do that for you at Shire Law Group. But those are great things to put inside the binder, so when something happens, that information is easily accessible because, as you know, when somebody passes away or becomes incapacitated, things move quickly. So the easier you make it for your family to find something, the easier it's going to be for them.
The other thing, too, that you can include in this roadmap are notes. You want to leave some personal notes to people. This is a perfect place to put them with all these other things. And it just gives you an opportunity to really express to your loved ones how you feel, what you might want them to know, things that are very important to you that you say can also be put in place.
Or even don't forget the money that I buried in the backyard if that's the case. You want to make sure that they know about those things as well. So
make sure that a trusted individual knows where your roadmap is. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Happy to help out.
Thanks so much for listening today.
Thanks so much.